South side of the palace of the High Priestess Akai. At the moment, Gohan beside Mojito, Piccolo and Zaidos walk through the palace of the Great Priestess. Zaido looks at Gohan and Piccolo says, "You two, even with Mojito's recovery, are still down." Mojito watches and says, "Well, I don't have that much recovery powers. My skills are different. You know very well that the powers of the angels are divided between them, and perhaps it would be good for you to do something, wouldn't you, little sister?" At this moment, Zaidos begins to create a large sphere of energy over Gohan and Piccolo. Gohan begins to feel his power fully rejuvenated. Piccolo also regains even more of his strength. Gohan speaks. What do you do to me? It feels like my body is getting 10 times stronger than it already was." Zaidos looks at Gohan and says, "I think this is the least I can do for you. This is undoubtedly an essence of the power of the angels of Universe 13. I hope that you will recover your energy, and that will cause your latent powers to be brought back to Son Gohan, the mortal who managed to match the power of an angel. I hope you feel proud of this, because it's very rare for someone to raise their power to that level." Piccolo watches and says, "You're talking about Gohan." Gohan is Son Goku's first son. If it weren't for Gohan, maybe this war would already be won by the side of the Mother of Angels. Since Gohan saved the Earth against the Demon Cell and ended up awakening several latent powers. Soon after, he defeated Majin Buu. That was incredible, and I confess that maybe now this issue of defeating an angel and fighting a demon are even his greatest achievements. Don't discredit mortals. Mortals really can do amazing things. Zaidos is fascinated and looks at Gohan in a different way. It seems like before I wanted to get rid of this kid and these guys because of what Azazel was telling me to do. But now, it seems that I really get the vision that they are fighting for a right cause. In fact, they're not even looking to find out if Zeno-sama or Daishikan are the real culprits. They just want the war to be over, and maybe if the High Priestess keeps these thoughts going, it could all lead to an end. They want a world where peace exists, where all the angels can continue to protect each other of all universes. Maybe if Sakai understood their goal, Maybe if Sakai understood their true goals, there could be an agreement with the High Priest and everything could be at peace. I think that would be the best situation to resolve everything. Maybe Mojito let me live for that reason of trying to convince the Mother of Angels. Mojito looks at Zaidos and says, "Sister, don't be such a fool. Do you think that at some point I would need you to try to convince the Mother of Angels? Just knowing that you are on our side now, the Mother of Angels would surely annihilate her in the blink of an eye. What concerns me here is that I want to know the real truth." Gohan doesn't understand what the Angel of Universe 9 is talking about. Gohan questions, "The real truth? What are you talking about, Mojito-san?" Mojito looks at Zaidos and says, "Zaidos know very well everything that happened in the last Celestial War. There are several kingdoms that you don't know about it here. Probably the Earth and other universes are being invaded by a horde of dragons. The Destruction Cats were also on the side. However, I still didn't see the Cold Demons. Among the Cold Demons, there are extremely powerful warriors. The Supreme Saiyans are incredible and considered for a long time as the strongest beings in the universe, and yet, you defeated Bazarat. Did you know that Bazarat is an extremely strong Supreme Saiyan who didn't even have time to show his real powers due to Goku activating his celestial power? The big question that occurs in the midst of all this is that some problems can still be created. The first one, I don't know if you know, Bazarat has a son." Gohan starts watching and says, "What? Did that monster have a child with even greater powers?" Zaidos speaks, "Are you saying that Sakai's generals who were destroyed can still get involved in this war?" Mojito responds, "But don't be so silly, my dear sister. You know that very well and you're still wanting to go back to Sakai's side. If so, I'm going to finish you off right here and now." Zaidos starts to smile and says, "All right, brother. I will reveal the whole truth to you, but I hope you are prepared." What does Zyrus have to reveal?
Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Without further ado, let's get started.
Planet of Destruction of Universe 18. Days ago, before the start of the second phase of the Celestial War, Bazarat, the Ultimate Saiyan, Bazarat was just watching everything that was happening. Bazarat knew that the great enemies would appear. Bazarat says, "It feels like my body is totally weakened. I think things got really complicated. After so much time of so many battles and conquering so many planets, I was supposed to be able to steal Zakai's powers. I was right. But if a war approaches, there's not much to do. Especially the Mother of the Angels wanting to control everything. But this will be interesting. I confess that soon I will wait for great battles to approach. Come on, I want to see how far this can go." At that moment, another voice comes up and says, "It looks like you don't get tired of fighting, do you? You never get tired of showing your true powers. You really are amazing. But I think that in the midst of all this, it's my turn to fight." At that moment, Bazarat makes a serious face and says, "I think you still don't have the essential power to win this fight. After all, you are my son. But you're light years weaker than your father." At that moment, Haki, the first son of Bazarat, appears. Haki says, "You discredit my strength too much, father. I alone could end this whole war, but you never listen to me. You always want to send other warriors, and I am the first general of the Supreme Saiyan Army of Universe 18, and I will definitely be able to win." At that moment, Bazarat says, "Funny. So what about until I regain my ultimate powers? You go to this war in my place and pose as the great Bazarat Supreme God?" Haki smiles and speaks. "Amazing. That would be a fine honor, father. Especially since I had to destroy them all in the blink of an eye. It will be very interesting to go alongside the other Supreme Saiyans." At that moment, another voice comes up and says, "Nice to meet you, Bazarat from Universe 18. I'm Zaki from Universe 14, the Supreme God of Destruction Saiyan Hybrid. I would like to talk to you." Zaki and Bazarat, the two that caused major disturbances within the entire war, had something planned from the beginning. Yet Bazarat sent his son Haki into battle to impersonate him. What's going on with all this? The truth that Zyrus knew and Mohito questioned is being revealed. Flashback to the second phase of the Celestial War, Universe 18. Planet of Destruction, Saiyans. The real Bazarat receives an unusual visit from Zaki, the Supreme Hybrid Saiyan of Universe 14. Zaki says, Well, if it's not my dear friend Bazarat. Let's just get down to business. A war is coming, and I have too many memories of everything that happened in the past, so I need you to hear me out." Zaki changes his face to a serious one. "I think very differently since the first Celestial War. You know very well that there are extremely strong warriors inside all universes. It would be crazy for us to imagine that alone we could defeat any enemy, no matter how great our powers." Bazarat starts laughing and says, "Are you kidding me? The Hybrid Saiyan from Universe 14 is scared?" Oh, that's funny. You must be kidding me, right? Do you think I couldn't defeat any mortal enemy? Do you think any mortal could be able to defeat a god? At that moment, Zaki answers, "You have many problems, even more involved with Universe 7. Do you remember what you did in the past with Beerus the Destroyer? Maybe. I'm not saying you couldn't beat Beerus in the past, but that betrayal will make you the first target brought straight by Universe 7. I wouldn't be afraid, but still, it's a tricky thing.
Who knew that the other gods of destruction, just like Ziel himself, would have a hard time fighting some warriors? Ziel, the one who has the energy to release the essence being brought directly by the angels. Would you imagine that it could be destroyed? So it's worth thinking that we could make a different alliance. You want Zakai's powers, don't you? I think we have something in common. Bazarat observes and says, "What are you trying to say?" Zaki responds, "As strong as we are, and as much as we are part of Zakai's army, you know that at some point, just like her thinking, she will want to bring out the supreme dragon god Zarama. This we can say is the true madness of the Mother of Angels, because the moment Zarama returns, he will surely want to be the supreme general of everything. Would you be able to believe in the powers of someone who can only with the strength of his thought accomplish anything?" That sounds like crazy, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly what Zarama can and will do. He will want to end everything and everyone whenever he wants. He knows what he's capable of, and he knows he has powers that are the powers needed to destroy anyone he wants. It has been sealed all this time since the First Celestial War. Their combined powers were more powerful even than the High Priestess' own self. The High Priest himself still wants to resolve the situation. No, the High Priest is entrusting his powers to mortals. So why would we, the supreme gods of destruction of the High Priestess universes, entrust our bodies at the start of this war to Zakai? Can we do something different? How about sending beings that have extremely high powers and can impersonate us? Then we will know what is the true objective of the true idea of Zakai. Surely, when this war starts, the tension will be so great and no one will be able to understand who is who anymore. When Zarama is released, he will surely send his army. And then we will be able to see extremely powerful beings emerging, and instead of being just pawns in this chess game, we will begin to see how the king and queen actually move. When we attack, it will be our checkmate. Bazarat laughs and says, "Haki! So Haki, you mean you want to fight in my place, isn't it? So I think we already have the essence of the new Bazarat being acclaimed." "Oh, you will impersonate me during the beginning of this war, and I want to see what happens." At that moment, Zaki smiles and says, "I will send an essence with 30% of my power straight to this war. So this fight will begin. Let's analyze what will happen from here." Back to current times. Mojito starts watching and says, "I find it very strange when I received the news that Zaki and Bazarat had been defeated together by Son Goku. So that means that's it. They were the first ones who were already on the side of the war. They wanted to go after the boy." At that moment, Gohan says, "What the hell are you talking about? What boy are the next two?" So that means those two monsters we faced on Earth posing as Zaki and Bazarat weren't the real ones. At that moment, Zaido says, "No, you didn't fight the real Zaki and Bazarat. And probably who Goku ended up killing was the son of the true Supreme God of Universe 18 and the essence of 30% of Zaki's power. I'm saying that Bazarat, as soon as he finds out that Haki, the heir of the throne of Universe 18, has been eliminated, he will definitely want revenge." Gohan replies, "But isn't this battle that is going on between the angels enough? What could a Saiyan do more than them?" At this point, Mojito starts laughing and says, "You are a bit silly. Even because imagine that you, who do not hold the position of gods of destruction or Saiyans, only by training were they able to surpass the angels and still raise their powers to a much higher level. Imagine a supreme Saiyan god who has always been cunning, and has always possessed extremely high capabilities. Imagine the level he can reach training alone, or the level where he may have already reached. That might actually be a nightmare. Gohan, with his rejuvenated strength, says, "It doesn't matter. We'll finish them off." Zaido says, "That's not the big question. The big question is that some things can still change. Zaki and Bazarat thought of all this before the start of the war. Can you get an idea of how they were even ahead of the Mother of Angels? Besides being strong, they are great battle strategists. And up till now, I ask myself, what is the true ambitions of those two?" Now yes, we can say that things are going to get complicated once they know about the truth about Son Goku and the truth about his son. So if you, Gohan, defeated Zaido just now, it was definitely just another obstacle that was planned by Zaki and Bazarat. Gohan says, "What do you mean?" Mohito says, "She means that now that Zaido has been defeated, Zaido's essence has again been transferred into Gon's body. So the real Gon will now be the being born in the empty dimension. At this moment, the Supreme Angelic Saiyan will recover all his powers, and who will go after him will be the Supreme God Saiyan and the Hybrid Saiyan. Zaki and Bazarat, if I were you, maybe I would run to go after Gon." Gohan says, "Damn it, that's not possible. We need to go after Gon now." Zaido smiles and says, "Good luck. You'll need it." An incredible turnaround takes place. What will happen to Gon's body? The real Zaki and the real Bazarat fooled everyone. Meanwhile, Zakai continues to fight Whis and Vados. What will Zarama do about it? Battles in all other universes continues to take place. At that moment in an empty dimension, we can see Gon unconscious. In a few moments, Gon opens his eyes. To be continued. So hey, my partner, what do you believe and what do you think about all of this? Regardless of what it is more than important that you arrive here, exposing it in your comments so that we can enter into that crazy debate. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.